Custom armor sets are my favorite part of any Monster Hunter game, and I thought I would share with you how I go about making one. With Return of Talismans in Monster Hunter Rise, it can be a bit difficult to create armor sets and share them with others, so it's good to know how to make one for yourself based on the talismans you have. Before we get started, I need to cover what it means when I say a level 1 slot or decoration. Slots refer to the section of an armor piece that allows you to socket in a decoration. There are different levels of these currently, from 1 to 3. Level 1 slots allow for weaker decorations, and level 3 slots allow for more powerful decorations. You can determine the difference by how large the slot or the decoration is. Level 1 decorations can fit into levels 1, 2, and 3 slots. Level 2 decorations can fit into levels 2 and 3, but not level 1, and level 3 decorations can only fit into level 3 slots. So where do we start? Well, this may sound a bit silly, but it's best to create an armor set with an idea of what skills you want. It's good to be reasonable here as well. Trying to throw every offensive skill you can get in a set will result in you getting none of the skills you're looking for, or a mismatch of the skills that don't hit the points where they really start to get good. Begin with about 3 to 4 skills, and fill in the rest as you go. There are 2 ways to begin building an armor set. The first is to look at armor pieces to begin with if you don't have an extremely powerful talisman to work with, and the second is to start with a talisman to base your set off of. For the purpose of giving you an example to follow along with, let's say we're trying to make a set for gunlance. You may want skills like offensive guard, artillery, load shells, and guard. Now that we have an idea of what we're going for, we're going to want to check out the skill weights. What I mean here is that some skills are harder to fit into a set than others. This isn't anything set in stone, and is more of an approximation. Start by looking at the decorations of the skills you're looking for. Level 1 decorations are generally pretty easy to get, as they can fit into any level slot. Level 3 decorations are going to be pretty difficult to fit in, relying on armor pieces and talismans, which means we're going to want to focus on those first. Currently, there are some skills without decorations, meaning those are very difficult to fit in a set and should be treated as a priority. Offensive guard is a level 3 skill, and the others are all level 2s, meaning we're most likely going to want to focus on offensive guard before the others. You also need to check the armory for how many pieces contain the skills we're looking for and how many points we can get with those pieces. Press Y to bring up the sub-menu and then search by skills. As you can see, offensive guard only has 8 pieces, each of which only gives 1 point towards it. It's a good idea to search for all the skills of the armory to see what your options are, before even looking at our talismans. Out of the skills we're looking for, guard has 12 pieces, and artillery and load shells only have 3 each. During this, we find that some pieces have multiple points into some of the skills, making them much easier to get. In this case, the Renoplos arms have 2 artillery, but the Basarios arms have 2 guard. How do you decide? Well, you may have to be a bit flexible and try different outcomes, but if you look at the slots, we can see that the Renoplos arms are better, as they have a level 2 slot and a level 1 slot, while the Basarios arms only have 2 level 1 slots. So in this case, we're more likely to go for the Renoplos arms. We also discover that some pieces share some of the skills we're looking for, meaning they're very good candidates to select for our set. The Basarios male has guard and load shells, and the Diablos male has 2 points into guard, as well as an offensive guard. Even though Basarios has 2 level 1 slots, and Diablos only has 1 level 1 slot, Diablos has more total skills and more difficult skills to get, so we'd select this one. We can go through and fill in some of the armor pieces in this way until we have a rudimentary working set. While in the armory, you can press X to toggle trying on an armor piece. Your total skills are then displayed on the 5th page of the equipment info. I recommend unequipping everything and then trying on armor pieces before making them to see what you could end up with. You can also check the slots of the gear you're working on by pressing the left stick in and looking at the left option while scrolling through the different armor pieces. So right now, we've got the Basarios helm, Diablos mail, Renoplos braces, and Baroth greaves. While the Baroth over Diablos legs, they both give the skills we're looking for, but Baroth greaves come with a point into defense as well as a level 1 slot which Diablos does not have. This pairs really nicely with the Basarios helm we chose that also has defense boost. We don't have a waist piece though, and honestly, none of the options have really stood out. This is when we would start looking at talismans with this style of building. We'd be looking for something to fill in the gaps we're missing, which is currently offensive guard, artillery, or load shells. We could go up to guard 5 if we want, but I think guard 3 works just as well in most cases. In a talisman, we're looking for good skills, good slots, or ideally a combination of both. Go into your item box, then to change equipment, and down to equipment box. Press Y to sort through it and select some of the skills we're looking for. If you don't have a talisman with the skill you're looking for, it will not show up. As you can see, I do not have an artillery talisman, and the rest of the options I have are garbage, which means our talisman is going to be extra skills on top of our set. Looking at our set again, we know we need a few level 2 slots and at least a level 3 slot to fit in the remaining skills. Luckily, we have some of these already, but we're still missing a level 3. We could get it from our talisman, or we could get it from an armor piece. We still have a ways to choose, and none of the options really give what we need or limit us in the total number of skills at the end. Instead, we can select an armor piece that has no skills, and has one of each level slot. We can find these by searching again, only for slot level this time. For each type of armor piece, there is one that has no skills and just slots, with the exception of the helm. The skull helm only has level 3 and level 2 slot, but comes with Fortify, while the Vake chest, Jura arms, Chrome metal waist, and Arzuros legs all come with one of each level slot and no skills. The Chrome metal waist is perfect for us, as it has a level 3 slot for us to get the offensive guard in, and a level 2 and level 1 to fill in the rest of the skills. After adding in the decorations, we're left with this pretty clean looking set, and we don't even have a talisman yet. The nice thing about fitting a set with a non-specific talisman is the flexibility. For instance, we can easily throw in any other talisman and mix up the decorations for a completely different result. So how do you know when you should start with a talisman, or build a set starting without one? It mostly comes down to the number of skill points on the talisman, and the availability of those skills on armor pieces and decorations. Some talismans have skills that we currently don't have decorations for, like Agitator or Weakness Exploit. Others have a massive number of level 2 and level 3 skills on them, making them ideal to start with, as a lot of armor pieces have only level 1 slots. For instance, an earplug talisman, like the one seen here, helps us reach earplug level 5 with only one other armor piece. This lets us select other important pieces to fill out a set. Know what skills you're going for, and weigh them based on how difficult it is to fit them into a set like we talked about earlier. If you're going to start with a talisman, set some goals for final skills you're looking for, and try to find some pieces to complement that, then build out. Remember that armor sets can be challenging to make, and may take a few tries to get it right. The talisman you think is amazing might be easily supplemented with an armor piece, so you don't have to be afraid to be flexible. Good luck with your sets, and until next time, happy hunting.